Hello everyone, this is Doug from DankMTG, and we have a very spicy deck tech for you. So, have you ever wanted to play the modern format, but don't want to lose your left nut, or your right nut, or both nuts? Well, we have
Luckily for you guys, then we have a deck for you. So, of course it's burn, and you may not think that that's much, but this version has actually been putting up quite a few good results.
I would agree.
We're gonna have, after this, we're gonna upload a gameplay of it versus the upgrade version. Because a lot of you guys are thinking it's budget burn, can't go far. Well, you'll see it, and it actually does do a lot.
Yeah.
So, right now, this is the main deck right here.
Yep.
We're gonna go through each card, talk by why each card's here and why it's good. But good thing is, if you save like $12 a week, which is very easy to do, just skip lunch, make it yourself every day. Not every day, but every weekday for the rest of the week, you can afford this deck and start playing at F&M. So rather than taking out a loan and buying a deck, you just save up for this. And it's very affordable, especially for us college students. It's very affordable.
Right, it's a very affordable deck, which is a great upside.
And you'd think that not having fetches and shocks would be a disadvantage, but in this deck it actually kind of works out better. So let's get started. So we have 19 mountains, just basic.
On mana base is probably one of the simplest in the format.
And you're dank if you have the John Avon ones.
Oh yes, the John Avon one.
Let's move on to the creatures.
Yes.
Let me just move on. So our first creature is the one and only Swift Sphere. Of course, we wouldn't be burn or good if we didn't play Swift Sphere.
1/2 haste prowess. Really nice.
It's everything we want and would need in a 1-drop slot. And burn, this thing can do it at least anywhere from the 1 damage to at least 7 in an entire game.
Yes.
You can bolt them. Oh, you can turn 1, Swift Sphere to turn 2, bolt spike. That's 3 damages from Swift Sphere right there. Great creature, and they try bolting it, or you can just bolt twice in response and keep your creature alive.
Prowess is a fantastic ability.
And the good thing is, if you do decide to upgrade, then you're going to have your Swift Sphere, so that puts you in a good position. Now, for the longest time, for years actually, people have always been asking, what's a good budget replacement for Goblin Guide? Because Goblin Guide's a very difficult creature to argue against, and I think we found it. Thanks to Dominaria, we have Gitu Lavamancer.
Yep.
So those of you that are unfamiliar, it's a 1/2 human wizard. It has +1 and 0 haste if you have 2 instant sorceries in your graveyard, which in this deck, it's hard not to do that. You can suspend Rift Bolt and then bolt them and then drop this turn 2.
Yes.
Another thing is, don't ever drop them turn 1 unless you have to, because turn 1 you play them, they're either just going to push them or they'll just remove them. So hold back until turn 2. You can go off with them. There's some games you can just play them turn 1 and hope for the best, and those do exist, but just to give you more of an idea. The last creature in our deck is a playset of Hard Mentor.
Yes.
Now, another budget replacement for Eidolon, which I think in this deck kind of works better because it's one-sided. You won't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And in Modern, there's so many things this thing's going to hit. And it pretty much kills the bots deck, Affinity.
Affinity, yeah.
And it punishes them for using fetch lands, which every Modern player loves to do.
Yes.
So if they fetch and shock, well, now instead of just taking 3, they're going to take 5, which 5 damage in this deck goes a long way.
That is a quarter of someone's life total.
Exactly.
So that is a...
And that can be on turn 2, mind you. If you're on the play, most likely you bolted them that turn, so you can get them down really quickly. So Death Shadow would like it, but they won't like it when they're dead.
Yes.
Moving on to the burn spells. Of course, it wouldn't be burn if we didn't have our
4 lightning
4
bolts.
bolts. But being burned, 4 is not good enough. So we're playing 12 bolts.
Yes.
Or 12 bolt effects.
Yes. So Rift Bolt is our second. I mean, looking at the mana cost, it looks like it costs 3, but you're going to suspend it. You exile it with a time counter on it, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, it comes back. You remove the time counter and cast the Rift Bolt, which is great with prowess.
Yep, it adds an extra prowess count. And Lava Spike is the worst bolt, but it's still really good.
Yes.
The fact that it can only be aimed at a target player's face is kind of not disappointing. It's definitely what Burn wants to do. But there's time where you need to be interactive and just kill a creature. But Spike, for what it does it amazingly.
Yeah. And it does have a rather interesting upside in some ways, and that is it's a sorcery, so it cannot be dispelled.
Yes, that's a very great point. Along with Rift Bolt.
Rift Bolt as well.
Because Dispel and Light Counter Magic just wrecks Burn.
It does.
But not this one. This one's really fast. And you'll see another card in our list that gets around that.
Yes.
But that's our
That's
12
our
bolts
12
effect.
bolts.
Unfortunately, Lava Spike is the most expensive card in the deck at only $5, believe it or not. But once you get them, you have them for every format.
Yep. And
Moving on to our 2-drops, we have 3 and only 3 Searing
Searing
Blazes.
Blazes.
Now, we can't play a playset, but thing is, we don't have the fetch lands to reliably hit the landfall trigger. So, Searing Blaze is amazing because not only do you kill a creature, but you do 3 damage to them. Even if you don't have landfall, you can kill a creature and do 1 damage to them, which doesn't seem like much, but it does quite a bit.
Yes.
Moving on to our next one, we have a playset of Skullcracks.
Skullcrack.
So
Yes.
life gain is the best way to beat Burn. Skullcrack stops that. You'll see we did a gameplay where Skullcrack not only stops life, but the damage prevention is actually really important.
It truly is.
Against Soul Sisters, their turn 2 play of Martyr of the Sands. I think Sands, right?
Modern Sense.
Yeah. Let them reveal it and then Skullcrack them just to really slow them down.
It's also good against Core Firewalkers if you're up against the
Yes.
Boros Burn, because you can prevent the damage can't be prevented.
Yep.
So
Perfect. It's a perfect 4 of.
Yes.
Our next 4 of is a playset of Magma Jets.
Jet.
And I do have the foil playset, I just have no idea where third one's at right now. But in these sleeves, you can't even tell the difference. These are the Legion mats. But anyways, very great card because we don't have the fetches to thin us out. Filtering is our pseudo version of it, and
Yes.
it's just as good. So being able to kill a creature and fix our next draws is amazing. Keep in mind, you can untap, upkeep Magma Jet to find what you're about to draw into. And that's going to play very importantly with the next card we're going to talk about. But the Scry 2 is just amazing. Basically, we don't have Serum Visions, and if we did, we'd been playing the deck wrong at that point.
Yes, indeed.
So this is our best thing. The 2 damage, I know it seems mediocre, but 2 damage plus a Scry, that's where we...
It
that's
makes
it.
up for it in the Scry effect.
In your experience playing this deck, what can you say about this card?
I really like Magma Jet. Everything Xavier said basically covers it. Kills a lot of the early drop creatures in the format. And if all else fails, it can just go upstairs and hit the face, which you want to do because you're burned.
Yep.
So it just very versatile card. I really like it.
Game 2, this is usually the first card we side out just because we need to put more damage output or work around something, and this is one of the first things we cut.
Yes.
As I was saying, we can scry into our 1 of Thunderous Wrath. Believe it or not, this has closed so many games out. Just a 1 of, it's amazing. It's being mono red and budget, it's almost a shame not to play this card. Usually if you ever see this in your hand, you want
You want a
mulligan.
mulligan.
But if your hand's pure gas, then you would definitely want to keep this.
Yes. You're always going for the miracle. If you're hitting 6 lands, you're probably pretty far behind.
You could also slide this out, game 2 and 3, just because you don't want to. Your game plan most likely has changed than rather just burn to the face. But believe it or not, there have been times where I have had to cast this for a 6 mana, and kind of bricking at that point's not a bad side when you get to hit them for 5 and close out the game.
5 damage is, like we said, quarter of a life total, so that is pretty good.
Our next, and it's only a 3 of, and finishing it, not almost finishing our burst spells, is the Exquisite Firecraft. Now this card, I'm so surprised a lot of people don't play it. I can understand why normal burn decks don't play it, but even in the sideboard they do. Exquisite Firecraft is 4 damage, a quarter of an entire person's life total. I mean, a fifth, my bad.
Yes.
I was just thinking 4 things.
Yep.
And most of the time, just as we saw with Gitu Lavamancer, hitting the 2 instant sorceries is not an issue at all. So most of the times, this can close out a game or get rid of a very big creature. You know, it hits Savage Knuckle Blade, there we go.
Savage
I was thinking, what's his name? Anafenza as well, if
Yeah.
they're still playing the Will League version. But for the most part, this always went to her face, and it laughs at all counter spells. There's
Yes.
actually a story where I won a F&M by getting through a negate with this. It was the best thing ever.
And as a side note, if you absolutely have to, this plus a Searing Blaze, even if you don't have landfall, will take out a Siege Vital. Because
Yes.
Siege Bitch is annoying.
Yes, which may seem mediocre, but it gets the job done.
Yep.
And lastly, we have just 2 Fork
Forked
Bolts.
Bolt.
Now, this is definitely your flex slot. 2 damage for 1 doesn't seem like it does much, but when you get a 2 for 1 them, that's where it is. Or when you get a remove creature like Noble Hierarch and do 1 damage to them, every point of damage at that in every matchup makes a difference.
Yes.
So being able to have mainboard answers is better than nothing.
Things that are trying to go wider against you
Exactly.
in order to make up for the fact that, they're going fast, this is pretty good.
Amazing. Like I said, this is a flex slot, so first thing you would cut out is probably here unless you need it for your matchup. So it's like a game when you go against bots or elves, having this is going to be a lot better than not having it. But in some games, the 2 damage does make a difference, and at worst, it just goes to them.
Yep, exactly.
And that rounds out the main deck. So any suggestions or fixes you want to make, go for it. And now we're going to talk a bit about the sideboard. I have my sideboard a little differently than something we would suggest.
Yep.
We have, and just so you know, the price we just said, about $12 a week, also pays for his sideboard.
Indeed.
So we have, let me just organize this accordingly. And this is probably going to cause a lot of head scratches, but I will explain it with pleasure. So let me just line it up.
Makes sense, yeah.
I guess we just talk individually about each card.
All right.
So, of course, we need Graveyard Hate. Tormod's Crypt does that and does it really well.
Yes.
It's probably the worst card against Graveyard Hate, but it actually does it, which is great. A well-timed Tormod's Crypt will stop any good Graveyard deck. It's great against Control, Dredge,
Very.
Reanimator, if there's still any out there. Any deck that relies on learning your soul tokens or really puts good use of them.
Mardu Pyromancer, for instance.
Hollowed One.
Hollowed One,
They
yes.
really use a graveyard a lot.
They're a popular
Having
deck
a
now.
well-timed Tormod's Crypt is great because now they can't go off, and within the few turns it's going to take them to catch up, you can burn them out.
Yes.
So Tormod's Crypt, it's worse. Is it better? There kind of is, but the 0 convert mana cost does make a difference. Would you rather turn 1 Relic or turn 1 Swift Sphere or turn 1 Suspend? So being a 0 drop actually does work out.
Yep.
And never play as turn 1 if you have Swift Sphere. Not never, but play Swift Sphere first and then do this.
Yes,
It's a
because
free
then you
prowess
get the free
trigger.
prowess trigger, which is
Exactly.
very relevant because every point of damage matters in
Exactly.
Brawn.
Exactly. Or if you turn 1 Suspend, turn 2 Swift Sphere because you just drew it, then drop this. So that's why you want to be aware.
Yeah.
But
You want to
definitely don't-
maximize your damage potential.
Exactly. Don't. Sometimes you do want to drop it just to apply pressure, but if you do that, then they'll probably play around it. So just play a little smartly is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Use your resources well.
I have 2 Dragon Claws, and I'll admit this was not in our sideboard yesterday. I just brought it because I knew I was doing the mirror match today, which if you know what you're playing against, definitely sideboard against it.
Yes.
So even if you're not playing against mirror matchup, this will keep you in the game for so long. It'll at minimum gain you at least 5 life. It's great.
Because a lot of the format plays Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
Which means
actually,
that-
I believe that's the number 1 card right now.
I believe so. That sounds about right. So
So being able to turn their lightning bolts into shocks is no laughing matter.
reducing damage that could hit one of your creatures or hit you can be relevant.
Yes, so 2 Magma Claws for sure. Great against, in fact, even if you're not in the mirror matchup, playing it and using it just off your own spells is great enough. So, anything with red, Grixis, Jund, Boros, or whatever it is, definitely put these in. Other things like Merfolk, you definitely not want these in.
Yes.
So Dragon Claw is a good card. Moving on to Smash Smitherings. Very self-explanatory. Anything that relies on graveyard, not graveyard, artifacts. Definitely put this in. Things
Bots.
like bots, KCI, anything
Lantern
else.
Control.
Yep. Now the reason I really wanted to put 3 of these in there. However, having extra Searing Bloods is a lot better since usually decks that are just artifact based, you can usually burn them out.
Yeah.
And
your speed is your advantage
exactly.
there.
But things like bots with Vault Scourges and other such zoo decks, Searing Blood's a way better card, and in the mirror match as well, you'll probably see this show up in it.
There are a lot of matchups where you need to go from going straight to the face to becoming more of an interactive deck.
And Searing Blood's the exact card you want
Yes,
for that.
it does both very well. Kills an early creature, even if it's a mana dork, and then basically bolts them in the face.
Yeah, ever hear Searing Bolt the Bird? Well, this is a little bit better. Even though you got wait a turn, usually they're gonna play it. You're gonna be on the play, so it
Yep.
makes up for it. Believe
Yeah,
me.
it's a very good card.
Yeah. So if your meta's pure bots and KCI, well then it's pretty obvious what you want.
Yes.
But
If you have more creature-based decks, you want more of these Searing Bloods.
exactly.
So, definitely some very good.
And I'm playing two reality hemorrhages, and I don't know if you can tell, but these are the foil ones, which look amazing in
They
person.
really do.
Even in these bad sleeves, but
They're
now
great.
ever hear saying don't get caught with your pants down? This is the best card for that. Now, a lot of people only play one. However, in matches where you need it, you're gonna need and want to see more than just one. Believe me. What card is this good against, Doug?
This is good against Core Firewalker because it has Devoid, so it gets around the
Exactly.
protection from red. And also Etch Champion.
Exactly. Edge Champion and Edge Champion, Core Firewalker just laugh at burn. Even worse, Burrington Forge Tender and Auriok Champion.
Indeed, those two as well.
And we were just talked about Merfolk, Master of Waves.
Master of Waves.
So a lot of people think that this is only for Edge Champion, but they're wrong. This hits so much more. At worst, it's just carry a creature with 2 mana.
Yep.
Now, talking about these and these other flexible spells, you would also want to consider Sudden Shock, just because that locks down the stack, so you can kill off Arcbounds and they can't
Arcbounds.
respawn. Or
Another
just-
great answer for things like bots.
yeah, if you have room for it in your board, definitely do that. But Reality Hemorrhage is a lot more flexible than you think. Sometimes you need to close the game out with two damage, and this
It
card
does exactly 2 damage, so
exactly. If you're waiting for the Edge Champion or Auriok Champion to come down for that 2 life, well then this would take care of it for you.
Yeah.
Not to mention with Core Firewalker, they want game life off of it, which is just something else to consider. I know it's not game changing, but sometimes it can be.
Yes.
We also have a 1-of Rending Volley against control or any big white creatures. Mantis Riders become more prevalent,
Right.
and the 1 mana instant speed for 4 is great because it does get buffed up
Things
pretty
like
quickly.
Mana Spiders, Spell Quellers,
Celestial Colonnade.
Celestial Colonnade.
It is a blue creature once it's been activated.
Indeed.
Or blue-white, which is
Yep.
exactly what this wasn't. You could also consider Combust, if you're seeing a lot of Siege Rhinos and stuff like that.
Yes.
Also, we were considering Roast as well, but the fact that this can be countered, and usually,
Plus costs a single mana as opposed to 2.
yeah, and it's instant speed. Whatever fits your meta better,
Yep.
just do
We
that.
have plenty of options.
You got to consider Flame Slash. But thing is, with Eldrazi becoming so prevalent, Chalice on 1 really stops a lot of things. Which I know Rending Volley is not going to be played in that matchup, but Roast would be a better choice in that case.
Right.
And finally, and everyone's probably still wondering, why the Crack the Arts? Why am I so crazy? I am crazy, believe me. But I'm even crazier to know how to play around a Leyline of, not the Void, Leyline of Sanctity.
There we go.
So Leyline of Sanctity almost completely shuts off your deck. At that point, you're relying on only your creatures and Searing Bloods, if you had them. Because Searing Blades gets cut off.
Yep.
So, if those of you that don't know, I'm more than sure a lot of you guys don't know, Crack the Earth, 1 mana red, each player sacrifices a permanent. So usually you put this in after game 3, after you got ley lined. Because mono red has no way to deal with enchantments. This will deal with it.
Yes.
So turn 1, they have to have ley line, and you have to play a mountain and cast Crack the Earth, thus making them sack their ley line of Sanctity. It seems like a really weird, mediocre way to deal with ley line, but it is a way that we can do it at the very least.
And having some method of dealing with Leyline of Sanctity is better than having nothing at all.
Exactly.
You need some sort of answer to that card or you will get shut down. And having something that at least gives you a fighting chance in a matchup like that where they have ley lines, you're going to feel a lot better than getting, again, caught with your pants down.
Exactly. And if you have Tumar's Crypt and you don't mind sacking it to it, then play Tumar's Crypt, play that so you don't give up your only land.
Yes.
But in actually some games, if they just play land and say Serum, you could, let's say turn 1 you bolt them or suspend whatever, turn 2 they play a land Serum. But guess what? drop another land, drop a creature, attack for 1, crack the earth, sacrifice a creature, they sack their land. That's something you do. That's something I have done.
It's a great way to make sure your deck keeps tempo and throws, say, a control deck off of tempo.
It's really a lot of fudging with your opponent. It's the best thing ever.
Yes, it's
Definitely try it out, and you either love it or hate it. Either way, it deals with Leyline.
I have faced the Crack the Earth plan, and it can make you a little bit flaccid if you're not prepared for it.
It's
Great to play with, not exactly the most fun to play against, but it's certainly an entertaining card to be facing
Yeah, just
and to be running.
yeah, just time it right is
Yep.
probably the best thing. Finally, we have a 1 of Molten Rain. I wanted 2, but I just couldn't squeeze.
Yeah, we needed room.
Yeah, exactly. Very self-explanatory. Destroy a land if it's non-basic, they take 2. And the good thing is this gets through Leyline, so that's another thing
Yes.
to consider. If in case you can't find your Crack the Earth. But it's great against a lot of decks. You know, a lot of people with mana bases are very fragile, so that's why Pawns is such a great deck. But being able to not destroy land is a little bit better than Spreading Seas it, because then they could just tap it for colorless. This one, it gets rid of it, and just slows down Eldrazi so much because they put all their eggs on that one Eldrazi temple. What do you think, Doug?
It's also good against things like Tron to take out a Tron land.
Exactly.
Good against, again, control decks that have Celestial Colonnades,
Yes, manlands especially.
man lands,
Bots also plays a lot of
Bots
manlands.
with- yep.
Infinity, not Infect plays
Infects.
the same one, Inkmoth.
Inkmoth, yes.
So if you definitely find room for 2, I'd say go for
The
it.
Mutavaults and Merfolk.
Yes. So see, it's just a very flexible.
It's a very flexible card. And
You could also consider Damping Spear, but I think that really hurts you as well. If you want to be bolt, you can't do that anymore. So
you don't want to be taxing yourself. You'd rather be throwing burn at their face, especially if you're playing Swift Spears and have prowess triggers you want to get off.
Exactly. So
Right? This is Doug and Xavier from DankMTG
yeah, sorry for
signing
that
off.
interruption. Anyways, yeah, definitely try this deck out. If you like it, let us know why. If you hate it, well, you're a cat, and we'll let us know why. But that's all for this video. Until next time, we like you guys to stay dank.
Yes, stay dank, everyone.